Going to a football match in the middle pandemic is the number of injuries in the reality TV show. A pre-match message instructs me to work at a Linden Park. English 4 hours before the work against Czech Republic. I must wear a mask at all times. I must keep all food in my micro bag into plastic bag provided by the stadium, and all the catering members will be shot. Immensely progressive cartoons of Pepsi cooking going. When I immediately turn up the stadium, realize that the crowd actually participates. Pop outside of the overflow with supporter weapons come from. With like a content so I suggest you still might go get a drink ahead of the game. A look of concern crosses her kindly face. Be careful which pub you're going to, she said. They will see you coming. What is your phone to could it be the Dutch book by the size that I'm clutching? I have given my spare ticket to Rierska. My friend Alice there, but he's from the so also no one on the let's go. We decide to take the advice and skip the pub. We did inside the stadium, we encountered band the loudest cartoons I've ever seen, including a tiny tartan clothes bag. I posed for a photo with him and they trust me. I had a tailor-made son. It fits me like a glove. It is not just color regulations that make this unique and peculiar tournament. Euro 2020, as a robust has also become something to the culture west. The pub outside of Rome overflow with supporter of this conflict looked like a tempting alternative. So when I suggest to get a drink ahead of the game, a look of concern crosses her kindly face. Be careful which pub you're going to, she said. That was coming. Harish referring to could it be the Dutch book by gave for cider and clutching. I have given my spare ticket to Rierska, my friend Lester, but he's from Edinburgh, so also now 100% at home in Glasgow. We decide to take the advice and skip the pub. Inside the stadium, we encounter a friend, the loudest tartan suit I've ever seen, including a tiny tartan clothes bag. I posed for a photo with him and they thought it fits me like a glove. It is not just cover regulation that make this unique and peculiar European tournament. Euro 2020, as FIFA season calling it, has also become sucked into the culture wars. It is a national football team a symbol of the nation, but that is not a straightforward task at a time when national identity is so fiercely contested. For Scotland, the pressing issue is independence. For England, it is race. The English football team has decided to take the knee before matches as a protest against racism, but each time they do it, they are booed by significant section of their own supporters. Even the government seems uncertain about how to respond. After hesitating for a while, Boris Johnson Prime Minister condemned the booing and urged fans to get behind the team. But two members of his cabinet, Jacob Rees-Mogg and Priti Patel, defended the protest, with Rees-Mogg suggesting that the protesters are not expressing racism but condemning the Marxist of Black Lives Matter movement. Patel, Britain's Home Secretary, has accused the player of endorsing injustice in politics. Players from the England team whose pre-game press conferences are normally confined to discussing tactics, injuries, and the atmosphere inside the camp are now being asked to react Home Secretary. It would be natural to assume that cabinet ministers are better at politics than footballers, but the Johnson government has reason to be wary of the clashing with the England team. Last year, it went down to an enormous defeat when it took a Marcus Rashford over extension free school meal for poor families. The Manchester United and England forward mobilized 1 million signatures behind the petition and forced the Johnson government to change tack. The 23-year-old Rashford preparation for Euro 2020 included a Zoom call with Baraban, while plenty of tourists are prepared to grumble about the work in Rashford. None are willing to take him in public. The culture wars over football are not just happening in Britain. The multiracial Belgian team took the knee in Russia in a tournament. The multiracial Belgian team took the knee in Russia ahead of their opening game. They are also booed by a crowd. Doubtless the Russians also protesting against Marxism. Viktor Orban, Prime Minister of Hungary, one of the host nations for Euro 2020, had defended fans who were visiting him that take the knee, saying that Hungary sees the gesture as a provocation. Orban is himself a right-wing provocateur who has become a hero to the Trumpist right in America by issuing frequent warning about the eldest dangerous Europe being flooded by Muslims. flooded by Muslims. But even some moderate conservatives are uncomfortable about footballers taking the knee, taking the one prominent Tory thinker in Britain laments to me that football has been a political space, but now the national team has become a source of division. I can see what it means. This year's tournament inevitably brings back memories of Euro 96, when England forward mobilized a million signatures behind the petition and forced the Johnson government to change tack. Nobody forced the Johnson government. What it means this year tournament never brings back memories of Euro 96 when England also play their games at Wembley. When I can see what it means. This year's tournament inevitably brings back memories of Euro 96 when England also played their games at Wembley and the whole country did seem to get behind the team in an uncomplicated sort of way. Back then, packed the stadium, all joined in the singing of the Lions football's coming on. Now the stadiums are largely empty and some of the home crowds are actually bringing the players. But as somebody who has been to many England games over the years, I know that the team was never mixed up with politics or racism illusion. England games have always attracted a substantial number of assorted hooligan and far-right supporters whose pre-game press conferences are normally confined to discussing whose trademark chant is "No surrender to RA." At the last European Football Championship in France in 2016, the ugly tradition of English football hooliganism emerged. When I remarked to another fan that I didn't particularly enjoy being caught up in a near riot outside a bar in Marseille, I was told curtly, "If you don't like it, you should stay at home and watch the game on television." Football ground in the 1970s was also where I saw the most overrated team that I ever witnessed in Britain. It was routine to see black players bark by booze and monkey noises. The football authorities and commentators were silent about this for many years. So if the current national side will then want to make a statement about racism, it is hard to accuse them of bringing politics into a political space. Particularly the racial politics, have always been there. The identity issues are rather different for Scotland. Euro 2020 comes as the Scottish Government is ramping up demand for a second independent referendum. This is the first major international tournament the team has qualified for since 1998, neatly fitting the narrative of national revival. Arriving in Scotland for the first game of the tournament, I find the local paper full of optimism. In recognition of the enormity of the occasion, the Scottish Government has even allowed school staff lessons to allow the kids to watch the game against sex life. As a visiting English fan, I wonder how I feel about all this. I grew up supporting Scotland in big international tournaments. I had little options since England failed to qualify for the World Cup in 1974 and 1978. But British identity was less complicated back then. Packed the stadium, all the anthem played for the Scotland side that lined up to play Brazil in 1974 was God Save the Queen, although to recording did not show the Scottish play looking particularly delighted. Today, the crowd and team will be betting on Flav Scotland with the stern word that we can still rise now and be the nation again. When Scotland qualified for the World Cup in 1973, there were more than 9,000 people inside Hampden. But today, thanks to COVID, it's a little over 9,000. Far from the joyous return to the big time that has been advertised, it feels pretty black and lonely in the stand, even if the Turtle Army has been reduced to little more than a couple of battalions and a group of children. Little more battalion, and they built up Love Scotland, loud enough to drown out conversation. The team started again with all the expected passion and stream forward. Their captain, David Wilson, can be seen gesturing to his player to calm down. And the air is sucked out of the stadium. At halftime, which had true spent in the tolling next to the hand dryer, the warming spot in Hampden, there is hopeful chatter around the union that Scotland might still be able to turn this round. But early in the second half, football history is made by the text. Patrick Schick, the team center forward, gets the ball on the halfway line and floats the ball over the Scottish goalkeeper into the net. It is one of the most brilliant goals any of us will ever witness. The crowd is now totally silent. Totally silent. 그거 충전하면서 해. 이쪽 레코딩.
녹음할 때 목소리 들으면 안 되는 거 아니야?
어차피 내 귀 밑에.
유튜브에 올리는 거 아니야?
맞아. loud enough to drown out conversation. The team start the game with all the expected passion and stream forward. Their captain, Drew Wilson, can be seen gesturing to his player to calm down. Then the tech scorer and the air sucked out of the stadium. And after we tried to spend in the tournament, the warming spot in Hampton, there's so food chatter around that Scotland might still be able to turn this round. But early in the second half, the football history is made by the text. 50,000 won. Okay, 10,000 won.
101.
And then 5,000. That's the last.
는 줄게. 계좌.
Give me your wallet.
No.
Then no.
그럼 5,000 more.
After we tried to spin the next century, the warming spot in Hampton, there's hopeful chatter around that Scarlett might be able to turn this round, but early in the second half, football history is made by the text. Patrick is the team center forward, gets the ball down the line, pulls the ball, but the Scots goalkeeper it is one of the most brilliant almost 2 minutes stand apart from a tiny group of cheering checks on the other side of the stadium and a group of children near me who continue happily shouting for Scotland while the round around them was frozen in horror. After the match, still reminds me that Scottish fan I used to be a disappointment. Making the national football team a symbol of the nation is double-edged sword. We imagine them scoring wonderful goals and celebrating the fan, but what if your goalkeeper ends up floundering flat on his back, tangled them in the net? Euro 2020 has already delivered humbling setback for two football-mad populist leaders. Orban gave permission.
Don't hit me.
Liar. Frozen in horror. After the match, Alastair reminds me that Scottish fans I used to be a disappointment. Making the national football team a symbol of the nation is double-edged sword. We imagine them scoring wonderful goals and celebrating the fan. But what if your goalkeeper floundering flat on his back and tangled up in the net? Euro 2020 has already delivered humbling setbacks for two football-mad populist leaders. Orban gave permission for capacity crowd to attend Hungary's opening games in Budapest against Portugal, only to see the national side lose 3-0. Recep Tayyip Erdogan, president of Turkey, traveled to Azerbaijan and sat in a place of honor in the stand next to Azer president, from where he was able to see Turkey go down to a 2-0 defeat against Wales. England fans also have a habit of disappointing their most ardent fans. The side often portrays as embodiment of what we like to believe are national characteristics: courage, calmness under pressure. In fact, as a recent piece by Joanna Liu in The Guardian pointed out, England are uniquely bad at holding a lead in the tournament. The numbers seem to suggest they might even be bottlers, and they all have said the French and Italians are much better at holding their nerve when they take a lead. If Gareth Southgate, the England manager, can somehow break this cycle and turn England into a winning outfit, he will inadvertently provide a huge boost to the Johnson government that is desperate for symbol of the success of Brexit Britain. But Southgate has subtly but unmistakably positioned himself to the left of the government taking the knee. Italy is a multiracial team and has constantly defended their right to make statements on subjects other than football. It has become accepted wisdom in Britain that culture wars always work better for the right than the left, but football may be an exception. A poll taken across Europe before Euro 2020 showed 54% of England football fans supported taking the knee, with 39% opposed. If the England team keeps winning, the number in favor may rise along with the team's popularity. But once the right may find itself on the wrong end of a culture war, for the duration of Euro 2020, I will care much less about who wins the culture wars than who wins the tournament. For Scotland, Euro 2020 began with a deflating defeat. The England team disappointed their fans almost as reliably as the Scots, just slightly late in the day. On the other hand, this is a real tournament. It's taking place in the middle of pandemic. The stadiums are quarter full and England are playing half Disney. I am allowing myself to hope for the weirdest outcome of the law, an England victory.